Hello. Good evening. Shadows welcome you once more. It's one of beautiful Friday evenings. Always a joy to have you on our program. The Shadows is a therapeutic spiritual journey that will travel you through the 7 levels of your existence, from the physical to the spiritual. And today we have this beautiful discussion we are going to have with you, that is, I am disappointed. I am disappointed. Who is disappointed? Who are you disappointed with? Who is disappointing you? How often did we say this? In what conditions did we say them? What did we expect from those whom we were talking to? Who said this to us? Disappointed with, disappointed in. And so we will be reflecting through this, viewing it from the psychological perspective, from the spiritual perspective, and of course from the therapeutic clinical situations, how this aspect has animated humans in different dimensions, and what we should do at the end of the day so we leave this program empowered and uplifted. We will start by reading the creed of the shadows. Shadow, shadow, shadow. Where are you? Here am I. I am shadow, I am shadow. I am in you, I am with you. I am visible, I am invisible. Everyone, everything has a shadow. It grows and matures with us as the day moves on, changing in lengths and angles. From the birth to the death, my shadow stays with me, appearing and disappearing. When I'm invisible, I am under you, and we call this midday. When I'm longest, I am impressive, and we call this dawn or twilight. The shadow is that part of us, that part of our story and our memory we are not proud of, that part of our experience we are not very comfortable. It can also be that element of pride, contempt, arrogance we ignore or are not aware of. The pride can be that hidden gift, that talent, that passion that you carry within you, which is still in the shade, you are not sure about and you are not confident enough to share. And don't forget, when it becomes very hot in the midday with the challenges of the midday life, you may just find a shade under a tree. It's a shadow where you can chill and relax. That's also the shadow. It can as well be all of that. That which haunts us, it scares us, it makes us shiver, revealing our doubts, fears, and uncertainties. Shadows, you make us question our outcome. You are really hard to bear at times. We resign and surrender to you as we realize shadows will always be there with us. Whenever you have the shadow, know the light is close by. We only have the dark because there is the light. The shadow is the product of the light. When you have the shadow, look to the opposite and you will see the light. Don't look to the shadow, don't look to your pain. Look to the wisdom, the grace that comes on the other side of your pain. Ask your pain to lead you to the light that changes your life. Bring us your shadow. Bring us your shadow. Finally, let them come to rest. Finally, let them build a purpose in your life. Let your shadow be. Let my shadow be. And let our shadow be. And smile. When we talk about disappointment, it's not a word that brings a smile to anybody's face. And sometimes when we are disappointed, it is with ourselves. There are always disappointments, failures, and loss. The secret is to learn from the loss and to realizing that none of the holes are vacuums. Michael Fox. On va parler d'être déçu. Vous êtes déçu de qui? De vous-même? On a souvent entendu quelqu'un dire qu'on est déçu de nous, la déception. Qu'est-ce que ça fait à celui qui le prononce? Qu'est-ce que ça fait à celui à qui on adresse? La déception fait partie de notre vie et de temps en temps, ça nous apporte des lourdeurs, des chagrins et des tristesses tellement profondes. Lorsqu'on parle de la déception, on va essayer d'avoir une perception psychologique, on va essayer d'avoir une perception spirituelle, bien sûr, et puis on va essayer de voir qu'est-ce que ça joue comme rôle dans le contexte thérapeutique lorsqu'on encadre des personnes qui ont des soucis, des déséquilibres émotionnels et qui ont besoin de soutien pour traverser les moments complexes de leur vie. Disappointment is a natural human emotional response that is universal, complex, and of course is subjective. This happens when hopes, desires, and aspirations are not met. It stems from a gap between expectations and realities. Why do you make expectations? It looks like it's inevitable. We're always expecting something, but we can learn not to make expectations. That way we are free from being disappointed. Is that the base? Is that where we are going to hook the argument? Anyway, let's go on and see. Dreams and aspirations are a natural yet risky part of life. We can't go without dreaming. When goals are met, positive emotions show up and experience a sense of relief, fulfillment, and achievement. Yet, even the best made plans can fail. We've seen that before in our lives, in the lives of others. We've heard this exclamation, how come it failed? Alors donc, quand les aspirations ne sont pas atteintes, la déception est au rendez-vous. Quand il y a des attentes et la réalité présente autre chose, il y a la déception qui arrive. Une chose est certaine, on ne peut ne pas être en train de rêver ou en train d'avoir les attentes. Mais peut-être on devait apprendre à ne plus avoir les attentes, je ne sais pas. On va voir si c'est ça le débat. Mais il faut qu'on se rappelle que même les meilleurs plans, les stratèges les plus raffinés, souvent échouent également. Donc, on ne peut pas dire que être déçu ne sera pas au rendez-vous à un certain moment de notre vie. In the darkness of such life events, when one hopes for fruits to bear based upon passion and labor, there is sadness and pain for not obtaining what is believed to have been deserved or earned. Vous pouvez imaginer des fois quel effort nous mettons pour réaliser certaines des choses, les plans, les investissements et tout ce qu'on a mis à l'intérieur pour pouvoir atteindre notre objectif. Et lorsqu'on pense qu'on mérite la réussite, la réalisation, on mérite la word et que cela ne vienne pas, bien sûr, ça peut atteindre le plus profond de nous et même déséquilibrer le plus stable de nous. These emotions can heavily shape one's global experience. Bien sûr, quand ça frappe, des fois, ça peut bouleverser toute une façon de voir la vie, de différentes perspectives et même de douter à l'avenir. Il y a quelqu'un qu'on respecte et qu'on admire beaucoup. Il s'appelle le maître Moji Baba. We are going to listen from a great and a very wise spiritual teacher. He's a Japanese American, Japanese and African, Jamaican, Japanese from England who lives in Portugal, and he's called Moji Baba. He's a spiritual teacher. He lived in UK. He went out through his life like a street artist, and through a Christian revelation, he was called into the spiritual journey, which took him right to the Guru Babaji in India, from where he has built a great teaching and thousands of followers. Let us listen to Moji Baba. The element from Moji is certainly going to highlight us. Here he comes.
Is unbearable. I need to go deeper because my current state is unbearable.
Okay. Both the current state, and I want you to each one here, if you're really in for this, to stand with him in your own seeing, and so you make use of what's happening now. Your current state and the one who is suffering it, who finds it unbearable, are they not an appearance that is perceived also, as well as experienced? Can I go this far? And I want to feel if you're really listening also. Your current state, you say, my current state, and I'm suffering it. So both the state and the one who appears to be suffering it, is there not an awareness of them?
Yes. Muji, there's also, I do have the awareness that there is a space that is, although there are these waves or this current state, there is, I recognize that there is something here that does not have to be involved in that.
Are you different from that something?
No.
I mean, really. If you are the awareness itself, let's say that every happening, I think I hinted at that yesterday, every happening is in time and have a certain duration. We can perceive it, we can write about it. This thing happened yesterday, or this is happening now. But if we look at that with some detachment, you will experience that every happening occurs in a much broader space of a non-happening. You follow anybody?
Yes.
Yeah. That is significant. Is the non-happening reacting to the happening? Is the non-happening dead?
No.
From you say, I'm aware of that deeper space. But in a sense, in your language, it indicates that you are perceiving the deeper space as a phenomenon. You know, there is some place in me, but you're not speaking from that place or as that place. You follow? And is it simply a question of semantics and language, or is there a truth in what I'm speaking? You see? Yeah, I'm aware of that deeper place which is not involved in this. So you who are speaking are where placed, are you? The commentator here, the reporter is where? Is it the one who is suffering? Or is it the space in which the apparent play of suffering is taking place, but is not caught up in it? Which are you? It's important what I'm sharing, you see. Where are you reporting from? Who are you reporting as? I want to see, what I'm speaking is of any, can you relate to this?
Yes.
Good, okay, then follow on. And then you are speaking now. We're going to clear this up. No? You're saying, yes, I'm aware that there's a deeper place in me that is not really, it's not caught in the scenario of my feelings and moods and the turbulence. It's not that. It is the non-happening place, isn't it?
Yes.
You who are speaking are where? In the happening place, or in the non-happening place, or on a bridge between both? Where are you speaking from? We can slow down. I'm not in a hurry. Because if you get this, it's worth 1,000 points, okay?
Yes. I'm on the bridge because I also see that there's still a pull to look at with interest what's happening. And
this is very significant what he's speaking, you see. I'm in that place, in a sense, between both. A great master, Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, he put it beautifully. He says, the sense I am, the place where you're speaking from, is like a door that swings one way into all of the manifestation and the other into infinity. Again, the sense I am is like a door that opens one way to the manifest world and swings the other way to the infinite. You are speaking from this place which I call the place of the witnessing self. Yesterday I gave example of the second bird who is witnessing the first bird activities, but it's not caught up in them. But it has the capacity to identify with the phenomenon it perceives also. Or to observe them, but with detachment. This is very crucial what I'm speaking now. You have no wasted moves, no wasted time. I have no wasted words for you also. Okay? So that which the position, let's say the position where you're speaking from, you say, yes, I am there. I am aware of the immensity of being, somehow, it's right there. And I'm aware of this life of the manifest world, which sometimes is playing as a kind of turbulence, okay? Now, turbulence doesn't know itself. Turbulence doesn't know I'm turbulent. Turbulence is a reaction to something. So the witnessing position is aware of turbulence. I experience some turbulence here, but you know what? I'm not giving it that much importance. I want to be more stable in the place which is completely unchangeable or unchanging.
Just beautiful. There you had Baba Moji. When you listen to Moji, you have to really be focused. You know, he has a way, a language of his own in communicating. He said the happening is taking place in a much broader space of non-happening. L'expérience de rencontrer le maître Moji Baba est vraiment impressionnante parce que c'est un enseignant qui a son propre langage, il a sa façon. Les douleurs qu'on ressent se passent dans un espace qui est très large et qui a le non-douleur. Donc la douleur, les peines, la déception se passe dans un espace de non-déception. Et quand on regarde la déception, l'espace de non-déception est beaucoup plus large que l'espace de la déception. Mais une chose est certaine, c'est la déception qui nous frappe. On peut avoir cette question de voir la tache noire dans une grande feuille blanche. Quand on te montre de feuille blanche, il est plus grand, mais c'est la tache noire qu'on voit. Quand on regarde, qu'est-ce que tu vois sur moi, on va dire une tache noire, cet microphone. Pourtant, il y a le blanc tout autour. So, you know, Moji is talking of the happening. It's taking place in a space of non-happening. This happening is a very painful dimension of the existence, what you are witnessing. But if you look in what space you are, the non-happening space in which the happening is manifesting is much larger to infinity. How come we stick to the happening so much? It's beautiful, and it is really, really, really beautiful. So we're going back to appreciate this teaching, that when you are in a space of disappointment, it is happening in a larger space of non-disappointment. So if you were to be inspired by the teachings of Baba Moji, you would be lifted from that stage. Disappointment is not just having what is not the fact that I didn't have what was expected. It's also that I did not perform as good as I was expected to. There are lots of emotional injuries caused by the non-actualization of our dreams. That's very true. You know, these memories offer shadows over our global life circumstances, our experiences, and those close to us. Alors, des fois, la déception n'est pas juste parce que je n'ai pas réalisé mon rêve, mais c'est aussi que j'ai réalisé le rêve, mais pas au niveau où je voulais. On peut imaginer. Donc, on peut avoir la déception et des fois, il y a des blessures émotionnelles qui accompagnent la déception. Voilà où le thérapeute s'intéresse, parce qu'il faut qu'on comprenne bien ce qui se passe au fond pour ne pas sous-estimer le mal qui peut être fait. Et bien sûr, il y a des mémoires qui sont comme l'ombre qui est jetée sur tout aspect de notre vie, nos circonstances, nos expériences, et qui affectent pas seulement nous-mêmes, mais les personnes qui sont proches à nous. The clouds put a shadow on our evaluation of those who look up to us and may tarnish our view of their possibilities. We tend to feel they will equally fail where we have failed. Ça va jusqu'au niveau où, là où on a échoué, on pense que ceux qui attendent de suivre notre conseil ne vont pas également réussir. On voit cette père qui a tout fait pour être footballeur, mais qui estime qu'il y a l'injustice dans la gestion du football. Et il dit à son fils qui va être footballeur que non, tu ne peux pas réussir dans le football au Cameroun ou dans le monde. Tu ne peux pas réussir en Europe dans le football parce qu'il y a le racisme, par exemple. Lui, il a subi le racisme et n'a pas réussi. Et il va dire à son fils, fais autre chose, laisse ses rêves. Est-ce que c'est vrai que là on a échoué, nos enfants vont échouer également? should we feel that our children will fail where we failed? You find this father who failed as a footballer in Europe because of racism, and he tells his son, please, I prefer you be interested in something else, because in Europe, racism will not make you succeed. It is hard to say goodbye to the past unfulfilled dreams, which becomes chronic and creates a sense of life is unfair. Ces douleurs, des fois, peuvent nous amener à complètement dire que la vie n'est pas juste. Nous pensons que ces réflexions sont des réflexions qui doivent nous pousser à penser davantage sur la déception et la façon que ça se manifeste. We are going to chill with a beautiful music, but before that, I would like us to have the transition jingle. And after the transition jingle, we'll listen to this great musician who is no other person than Wintley Phipps. Wintley Phipps is a minister. He's a songwriter, singer, and producer who is from Trinidad, Tobago, and an American who studied in Canada. He has been on all celebrity platforms, call it, all the great platform talk shows he has been invited. He has sung to great American presidents like Reagan, like Carter, like the Bush 1, Bush 2, not forgetting Clinton and Obama. Wintley Phipps will sing It Is Well With My Soul. You know, disappointment sometimes needs that we go back to the soul and find the courage. He was born in 1955. 7th of January in Tobago. Let's have the transition jingle, and then we get a beautiful song from Wintley Phipps, the minister singer. Wintley, that was not Wintley Snips, will be having coming in from the production. Wintley Phipps will be singing to us, It Is Well With My Soul. I know this song is so touching. All of us know it.
Bill asked me to share this about 26 years ago. I was flying back from Los Angeles on an Eastern Airlines plane, and I saw this flight attendant, and she looked a little discouraged. So I went and I got a cassette of my first recording, and I handed it to her, and I said, I just feel impressed to share this with you. She said, thank you so much, I've been having a really rough time. Well, 3 weeks later, she was working another flight and saw Cliff Barrows. And she said, Mr. Barrows, it's such a pleasure to have you on my flight. She said, can I ask you something? Have you ever heard of a young man by the name of Wintley Phipps? And he said, no, I've never heard of him. She said, hold on a minute. And she went back to her purse and got a cassette, the same cassette I gave her, and gave it to Cliff Barrows. 3 weeks later, I get a call from Cliff Barrows. We want you to be one of the soloists with the Billy Graham Crusade. Hook up from heaven, I call it. And God told me to share this with you. It is in the quiet crucible of your personal, private sufferings that your noblest dreams are born and God's greatest gifts are given in compensation for what you've been through. It is well.
My way
when sorrows like sea billows roll. Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. Hates the day when my faith shall be sight. The clouds be rolled back as a scroll. The trump shall resound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my
Thank you. That's fine. His name is Wintley Phipps. Son nom, c'est Wintley Phipps. Phipps. J'aimerais que vous écoutez sa version de Amazing Grace. I recommend you highly to listen to his version of the Amazing Grace. In Jeremiah 29 verses 11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jérémie 29:11. Philippians 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippiens 6 et 7. Psalm 34 verse 18. The Psalm 34 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. That's actually what disappointment does to us. These Bible verses are coming to reinforce the knowledge we are sharing here on Shadows, so that you are equipped for the next disappointment. It is very important for us to know that we have material that will build. We will handle therapeutic sessions in clinical situations when we work, but we cannot attend to everybody. And you're watching us from different parts of the country, the continent, and the world. You have the number on your screens. You can reach us from those numbers. You can also give us your impressions through SMS and WhatsApp, and we will immediately contact you. If it comes up right now, I have it here. I'll be able to respond to you. Alors, dans ces messages bibliques, cette chanson qui dit « Tout sera bien dans mon âme », c'est des soutiennent, c'est des outils, c'est des armements qui vont vous permettre de traverser des déceptions fortes, parce que vous ne serez jamais seul. Parce que dans Shadows, on vous apporte ces outils pour vous édifier, pour vous protéger, pour vous accompagner. Donc, lisez, méditez sur ces passages bibliques et suivez ces débats et ces réflexions et voyez dans votre cas si vous devez être aussi affecté émotionnellement. Sans oublier des chansons qui sont partagées sur ces plateformes, c'est fait partie des outils. Écoutez-le à la main. À 5 h le matin, écoutez Phipps avec It Is Well With My Soul ou Amazing Grace à 5 h le matin. Le moment que vous allez partir au travail, ces mélodies auront nettoyé, raffiné, peaufiné votre esprit pour une journée merveilleuse. Il est très important qu'on continue à apprécier toutes les connaissances qui viennent avec no partage. This sharing is very important. We'll have some more reflections on the disappointment, looking at it, from the neurobiological perspectives. When expectations are not met, cognitive dissonance occur, triggering a range of emotions, which come in with disappointment. These emotions will be like sadness, anger, and even resentment. From the emotional perspective, this is more like sadness, but it is not just sadness, because the disappointment is tied to expected needs, unattained expected needs. So there is a dimension in disappointment which may come with sadness, pain, and all of that, but there is a dimension of looking forward to something more. So there are more chances that there will be re-evaluation, there will be recalibration of goals and strategies, because regret looks to the past and has nothing to do with the future. Il y a un côté positif de déception, c'est que parce qu'on attendait quelque chose qu'on n'a pas eu, on va souffrir tristesse, peine, chagrin, colère des fois, mais il y a un autre appel de réévaluer, de restratégier, de recalibrer, de regarder comment réajuster les plans. From the neurobiological perspective, looking at the way the brain manages disappointment, it is linked with the brain's reward systems, and the culprit there is dopamine. This neurotransmitter, the level drops when expected results are not attained, and then actually it goes on to affect our biological manifestations, influencing our behaviors and also influencing our decision making. So the brain chemicals actually brings out this manifestation, which means it is not just subjective. There is a scientific proof that disappointment can be triggered also from emotional neurotransmitters affecting our brain. Il y a quand même une action de notre neurotransmetteur dopamine. Le niveau baisse lorsqu'il y a la déception, qui influence notre comportement et les décisions que nous allons prendre. The point of view cognitive, from the cognitive point of view, individuals perceive the gap between expectation and reality. There is a belief of what future holds based on three influences. There is the influence of past experience, social learning, and cultural norms. This young man, he is married to a woman. By tradition, the woman should be submissive, cultural norms. He expects that by social learning, the woman has been trained to be the wife, to take care of the kids, to do things like that. He also looks forward to the fact that from past experience, the mother behaved like that to the father. The wife is also saying that the husband will provide for the family, will build a home, and will lodge them. The wife is also from social learning, knowing that the husband will be there to defend him and to be able to stand for him in cases of challenges. And then, of course, from the cultural norms, the husband is the head of the family and so on. And every time these expectations are not met, from the cognitive point of view, there is disappointment. And we know how these have affected couples and homes. All of this cognitively calls for recalibration because there is an intersection with other emotional challenges like depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. Du point de vue cognitif, on attend que ce qu'on a appris de nos parents, ce que la société enseigne et ce qu'on a vu dans le passé et bien sûr ce que la culture quotidienne nous enseigne arrive. Et quand cela n'arrive pas, on est déçu. Un jeune couple, la femme va attendre que le mari soit celui qui construit la maison, qui fournit tous les besoins de la famille, que le mari soit le plus fort et le plus intelligent pour lui défendre, que le mari soit celui qui est sa fierté. Et la femme est en train de dire, et il dit que non, mon père était comme ça. Donc venant de le passé, mon père était comme ça. Et l'homme aussi attend que la femme soit celui qui gère la maison, qui prend soin des enfants, que la femme soit soumise et que la femme soit celui qui est toujours attentionné à lui. Et bien sûr que sa mère était comme ça. Ces attentes, quand ça ne se passe pas comme ça, il y a la déception. Et des fois, ça crée des conflits très, très sérieux dans les couples. So there are clinical implications, but before we get into those clinical implications, we will have the transition jingle, and we are going to have a commercial break, and then we'll move on to the book. In the commercial break, we'll have the spot of CHIANGONG Beauty and Fashion School and Academy. And then, of course, that will come just after the transition jingle.
Is beauty your passion? Do you doubt your natural talents? Do you have free time to idle around each day and more? CHIANGONG Hair Beauty and Fashion School and Academy offers you a successful career. Graduates and school dropouts alike develop competence in hairdressing, beauty therapy, therapeutic massage, special makeup, nail art, spa management, and so much more. An international and bilingual school and academy since 1984. Accredited by the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training. CHIANGONG Hair Beauty and Fashion. Creativity with discipline. More than 35 years of experience. Head Office 545 Rue Sylvanie Bernabe, Akwa Douala, Cameroon. Contact +237 675 882872 or 677 856768. Bonamoussadi Agency, Viva Coiffure, Enio Building Zone A, Douala. Contact +237 653 560196. Facebook, Emmanuel CHIANGONG.
Thank you. Welcome back to Shadows. It's a pleasure to have you. My name is Emmanuel CHIANGONG. I'm a clinical counselor, a mind-body therapist, and a beauty consultant. We are giving you Shadows, which is a spiritual therapeutic journey through which you can heal yourself. The number 677-856768, and at your disposal, you can reach us through that number, and you can also give your impressions and your contributions every time you see Shadows. Now we are moving to a beautiful part. One of the tools that we use in therapy is bibliotherapy. We bring a book that we share knowledge and we encourage our clients and patients to read. But you cannot read when the lighting is not good, so we will just put on the light, and from there we are going to read. I have a wonderful message for all of you. So we have the light. Nous avons un message très très intéressant pour nous tous. Ce message vient de cette grande femme this great lady, Debbie Ford. Debbie Ford is just wonderful as someone who has empowered many lives and has brought joy to many who are in situation of pain and fear. Debbie is an American author, writer, bestseller, and Debbie has done so much in healing through his write-ups. And Debbie was born in 1955. Debbie left us in 2003. He's an international expert in personal transformation, help people to come over the shadow side. He helps people like shadows to come over the shadow side. And right here, we'll be reading little aspects. The title of the book is Courage. Le message, c'est Courage. Et le forward est écrit par l'un de mes mentors, Wendaya. The forward is done by one of my teachers, spiritual teachers, and wonderful author who is called Wendaya. I'll read some little things from here. A letter to the reader. Although I have cut myself off from what might have been called my big inner circle, I am now nourished by the few that I keep close. I have learned that I can't burn the candle at both ends. I have achieved one of my deeper goals, which was to be home with my son Bo, the 2 years before he went off to college. I've realized every choice matters. I finally moved after 17 years and nine houses in a city I didn't like. Assessing my courageous warriors inside has given me the freedom of no, I can't, no, I won't. And forgiveness is essential to everyone. When I trust my intuition, when I tune into the voice of my courageous self, I hear that the most important thing is to take care of myself first, my son second, my family and staff third, and then all else that follows. I will win this battle one day at a time because I choose to. We are all stronger than we can ever imagine being. Every choice matters, starting with today. And today I choose to live. Debbie Ford. In the introduction, how many times have you felt yourself shrink? How many times have you made yourself small enough to fit into some role that you wanted no part of? How many times have you kept your mouth shut when you wanted to scream loudly? Or handed over your power to someone who didn't have your best interest at heart? How many times have you succumbed to an impulsive and addictive behavior rather than making a clear-minded choice? How many times have you told yourself, I can't, I am not strong enough, I am not courageous or confident enough to be all that I desire to be? Every day we are confronted with hundreds of choices that either make us feel confident, strong, and worthy, or rob us of the things we desire the most. Paralyzing fear, repressed self-confidence, and untapped courage are the obstacles that prevent us from making powerful choices. Choices that are in concert with our best interests and our deepest desires. For too many of us, unworthiness permeates most of our decisions in dealing with our finances, our families, our bodies, our weight, or our self-image. When we lack confidence, we feel unworthy of having what we want, of speaking our truth, of making radical change that would transform the foundation of our future. When we feel weak, helpless, and powerless, we lack the strength to ward off the thoughts of defeat, negativity, and fear that prevent us from living the lives we want. When we relinquish our own power and deny what we are capable of, we succumb to our addiction, our fears, our unhealthy impulses, and the patterning of the past. We act as if and believe that we are indeed weak and insecure. Who am I talking to? Who is Debbie talking to? Do you feel concerned by these writings? Is there something in here that is speaking to you? These writings are meant to push you not only to get courage, but to read other books like this. At the end of our journey, we come back to love ultimately when we love all parts of ourselves, when we bless all ourselves, when we honor all our history and all our insecurities, our doubts, our worries and fears, when we become the women and the men we always wanted to be. The greatest act of courage is to bring love where there is none. And the greatest act of love is to bring courage where there has been none, and to bring confidence where we feel insecure. That is the love that we've always been waiting for, and that is the love that is you. Formidable. Je sais que ce livre doit exister en français. Le titre c'est Courage et l'auteur c'est Debbie Ford. Ali, absolument. Absolutely must read. I mean, we can talk about courage all night, all day, but that is not the whole chapter. The most important thing is that you go do some more research on this. Il est important de faire d'autres recherches sur tout ce que nous partageons ici, ces différents auteurs, et d'apprécier tout ce que eux ils écrivent. Alors, c'était un plaisir de partager ce temps avec vous. Always a pleasure to come and share with you. We will have a little transition of the transition jingle, and we will go into the last reflections on the disappointment. In terms of perspectives, what do we do in this situation? What are the clinical and therapeutic solutions that we have to put in, so that you go home knowing that the future is bright. Thank you. Once more, Shadows welcome you. Si vous venez de connecter, c'est Shadows. Mon nom, c'est Emmanuel Chiangong. Quelles sont les solutions? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait en situation clinique? What do we do in clinical situations? There is learned helplessness. There is passive and disengagement. We disengage. With disappointment, we feel disconnected. We lack trust in ourselves. Belief efforts, there is a pervasive belief that efforts will not lead to success. And then, of course, a subjective response related to anticipated results. And of course, subjective because we don't have the same expectations from everybody. Cognitive behavioral therapy have proven to be very efficient. There is recalibration of the expectations, and we develop a healthier coping skills. We learn to cope with disappointment, review the cognitive perceptive of unmet expectations, our emotional experiences of loss, and neurobiological processes related to reward. We adjust the way the brain thinks towards reward. We also review the way we feel when we have lost something. This whole thing can also be positive. It is an alarm system calling for recalibration and the review of the goals. Despite the emotional injury, try to go back and re-strategize and review how you can plan for the next attack. Use it to understand our responsibility in the outcomes of disappointment. Lorsqu'il y a déception, on peut aussi profiter de ça, de voir quel rôle on a joué pour qu'il y ait la déception. C'est avec nous-mêmes ou c'est avec la personne en face de nous. Il est très important qu'on voit ce côté positif. Ça va nous permettre de recalibrer, de repenser la stratégie et de rentrer. Pas de fuir, pas d'abandonner. Do some reframing, alternatives, research, be open to new ideas. How has experience shifted our perspective and view of at various levels? Comment est-ce que cette expérience nous a enrichi, modifié notre regard sur les choses qui se passent autour de nous? Lorsqu'il s'agit des enfants, on ne dit pas qu'on est déçu de toi en tant que tel. On est déçu de la façon dont tu as réalisé quelque chose. Si tu es déçu de l'enfant, l'enfant est vidé de tout l'espoir de devenir quelqu'un. On ne doit pas faire ça. When it has to do with children, we be careful with words. You don't say, I am disappointed in you. What else will be left for that child? You have blown out their self-esteem and their ability to reconstruct and rebuild. You will say, I am disappointed with the approach you give to things, with the way you do things, and we will avoid saying we are disappointed in them. It is always good to get to the root cause the psychological roots so as to better manage the emotions. Il est très important qu'on apprécie psychologiquement comment ce problème est arrivé. Ça va nous aider à mieux gérer les émotions liées à la déception. Il est important qu'on essaye de nous éduquer sur le sujet également. We have to know that. We have to understand this so that we can build the right therapeutic interventions and also bring some emotional education on the subject. This is very, very, very important. We think that disappointment comes in corporate circles. It comes in parenting when we take care of children. It comes in couples when we are in unions. And it comes in the relationship with ourselves. When you look at these different contexts, you realize that this knowledge would be helpful in the different situations. And when we receive clients, we know that their time to recover from serious deception or disappointment vary. Les clients n'ont pas les mêmes habilités de se retrouver après une déception forte. Ça varie selon l'intensité, l'impact de la déception et la capitale psychologique de la personne souffrante. So the variation in recovery will be linked, will be directly proportional to the intensity of the disappointment and also the psychocapital of the victim. In therapeutic situations, we use the 5 senses, we use cognitive behavioral therapy, we use tools from somatic psychology. We bring all of this to be able to, first of all, appease them. We can have essential oils like you have it there on the tables. We use sound therapy, light therapy through radiation, and we work with meditative tools and also therapeutic exercises like yoga, Tai Chi, and Qigong. It is very, very important that you don't feel alone, you don't feel lost, you don't feel abandoned if you are down at this moment. You should look up to assistance from therapists, from psychotherapists, from clinical counselors, and you should think as the Bible teaches through the messages that you are not alone. There is an overwhelming, overlooking, overloving, and overcaring energy, your God, from your different denominations, from your different view of the divine. They are there for you. He is there for you to be able to bring you back to focus so you can get up ready to move on. Shadows is a therapeutic spiritual journey. It gives us the opportunity to look ourselves and to start re-evaluating ourselves. It gives us the opportunity to invest in tools that can bring us peace of mind and energy to steady. Look at the challenges in our communities and our cities. Look at those in pain, in poor health, challenges to feed the family, take care of the kids, handle difficult children, build relationships, and be able to use those relationships with confidence to go out and face a difficult world. When they are compromised, all I can say is, if we will be quiet and ready enough, we shall find compensation in every disappointment. If we will be quiet and ready enough, we shall find compensation in every disappointment. That was Henry David. Je vais essayer de le traduire. Dans toutes ces différentes difficultés que nous pouvons avoir, sachez que vous n'êtes pas seul. Profitez de tous les différents outils thérapeutiques, les essences, le son, la lumière, le toucher, les soins somatiques et toutes ces approches thérapeutiques que nous avons partagées et surtout le rencontre avec des professionnels, les psychologues, les psychothérapeutes, les personnes spirituelles élevées qui vont aider, vous accompagner dans la méditation. Utilisez tous ces soutiens et rappelez que si vous pouvez être calme et être suffisamment prêt, vous verrez que dans chaque déception, il y a une récompense. Et ça, c'est la parole de Henry David. Nous sommes en train d'arriver à la fin de l'émission et il y a une méditation que nous allons partager. J'aimerais que vous m'accompagniez dans cette méditation. We are going to have a meditation with a sound, and just give us the full screen, please. We are going to have this meditation, and the meditation, I would like you can sit in this posture if you can. You can sit in this posture. If you can't, you can just sit on the floor and cross your leg in the lotus posture, or you just sit at the edge of your chair in a meditative posture. Vous allez m'accompagner dans cette méditation. Vous allez vous détendre et respirer avec le ventre. Vous allez suivre les commentaires et vous allez méditer avec moi, et on va penser à ce voyage et tous les instances de la déception. So we will be accompanied by this therapeutic music, which will be played in a very soft tone so that you can listen to the voice. With a soft volume at the background, the meditation music will come in the background slowly, and you meditate with me as we try to move off the program shadows today. We are going to journey in all situations of disappointment with ourselves or with others. So you just relax. You can cover your eyes and you breathe in slowly and you breathe out slowly. Let there be a beautiful smile on your face as you journey inwards. Feel the peace in knowing that you are alive, no matter all the challenges that your day brought, and know you will have a peaceful sleep this night. Just meditate on the messages we shared this evening on shadows. Continue to breathe in and out and let the music flash on your body, your mind, and your soul, and feel soothed and chilled by the beautiful flute music. The music is innocent and it is neutral. Let your senses receive it openly and just judge from the feelings how your body is revived and healed. Écoutez la musique et aimez le son et laissez que le corps se laisse envahir par ces vibrations. Have you been disappointed many times? Was it painful? Smile and let it be. Did you disappoint someone? Many times did you do it? Forgive yourself and know that the person has healed, because there is grace that accompanies us in this journey and watches after us. Have you given up on the children, on your little boy, your little girl? Have you lost faith in your relationship, in your partner? Go back and look at it again from a perspective of knowing that you can change the strategies, you can change the tools, and the situation will improve. Did you let down someone? Did you bring them pain? Have they stopped picking your calls? Are you afraid to call them? Smile and relax. Let go your shoulders. You are not alone. Make another call, this time with a smile. And let the love in your heart, the reconciliation that you look forward to, let it be carried in your message and in the energy of the moment. Have you given up on the investment? Are you disappointed with the sales? Is the market not willing to accept the product? Is your message not heard any longer? Don't give up. Go back and re-strategize. Yes. Adjust the learning. Do some refresher courses. Come back to the subject from a new perspective. Recalibrate the investment. Maybe it was too big. Maybe it was too small. Bring it to the right size and go for it again. Keep smiling and breathing deeply, and let the smile continue to grow big as we come back from this meditation. And the music dies out slowly. And slowly you open your eyes. And you come back to the scene. And we continue to thank you for being part of the Shadows journey. We want to thank all of those who were part, especially Mr. Johnson, who has been the founder and the founding team of Shadows, who has done a marvelous job to coordinate this program, because Leslie was ill and Johnson was called at short notice, and he has done a wonderful job to bring Shadows to you today. We want to thank the management of My Media TV, the BT Group, for bringing this program to you. And of all, we want to relate you to BT Media Group on Facebook, and we want to take you to Viva Coiffure on YouTube, where you find these programs rebroadcasted and where you can continue to benefit. My name is Emmanuel Chiangong. It was a pleasure bringing this message to you. We hope that the Shadows will be a peaceful rest for you today, not the pain from which you are hiding. It will be peace, love, and happiness. Thank you.